Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Fathin Najihah binti Mohd Razif. My matrix number is 261129. So for today's presentation, I would like to present you my topic, which is gender equality, gender discrimination against women in the workplace. A lot of people around the world nowadays are facing the most problematic issue, which is gender discrimination. People often overlook about this issue, and yet they are wondering why the gender equality are not achieved yet. Gender equality is necessary for achievement of peaceful communities with maximum human potential and sustainable growth. Sadly, there's still a long way to go in order to achieve equality of rights and opportunity between both genders, men and women. According to Antonio Guterres, a United Nations Secretary General, he said that achieving gender equality and empowering women is unfinished business in our time and is the biggest human rights issue in our world. Next, according to Global Gender Gap Index 2020, the report shows the result of 31.4%, the global gender gap that need to close. The largest difference is in political representation gap, with only 25% women seats and 21% only ministry that women globally. The second largest gap is in participation in economic opportunity, with only 55% adult women that are on labor market compared to 78% of men. Also, there are more than 40% of wage gap and also more than 50% of income gap that need to close. The third largest difference is in educational achievement. The educational achievement gap relatively small, yet there are still countries where investment in women's talents is inadequate. Projecting existing development into the future, the global gender gap will close in average 99.5 years. Based on this information, it is enough to raise a major concern and alert over gender equality problem, as the gender discrimination has been dominated and grown within the workplace where employment existed both gender, male and women. In order to solve this issue, we must first study the factors that influence gender discrimination that tend to face by women in the workplace unintentionally. According to Journal of Hospitality and Networks, the term of discrimination defined as an unfair service to a particular individual because the service is focused on the attribute or the group represented by the individuals. This attitude of discrimination is common in human societies as they like to distinguish and compare the individuals. Discrimination clearly entails serious mistreatment of workers, but it also means treating other workers differently. Any choice, significance, or exclusion made on the basis of gender of an employee shall be regarded as gender discrimination, including discrimination against women. Also, if organization did not provide the equal opportunity to employees, it is unfair treatment to individuals' career opportunity based on their genders. Women achievement in a lot of profession nowadays is no longer unknown as their competitiveness ability with men is proved. However, some corporations still do not want to acknowledge and completely trust women because they consider women lack of competence, and also they think that women are incapable of becoming a leaders. So now, first of all, the stereotyping has a negative reputation that can be viewed as naive or incorrect or false from the fact. Gender stereotypes have an effect on the perception of women in the workplace. people prefer to draw pessimistic conclusion rather than positive conclusion. Some social factors such as the nature of femininity of childbearing, the need for social care and also maternity leave are among the reasons why workforce view women as a burden. This gender-related skill assume that it will influence the appraisal of female workers and discourage them from climbing the organizational ladder. Though women are climbing the organizational ladder, they are still will be facing the gender stereotypes that been circulating around the society towards them. Moreover, there is a lack of inspiring female figure due to preferences in masculinity rather than feminine work styles. Some stereotype belief result in women receiving fewer, less challenging assignments and thus affecting women's career path and advancement. Workplace that had been dominated by masculinity norms exhibit in the performance of hard labor and risk stuff. According to Gabriel and Joyce Sterling, in high-status professions such as law, the image of masculinity is perpetuated by individuals working long hours to show dedication to workplace, which will lead to financial gains and reputation for demonstrating superior performance. In comparison, perception about women lacking of commitment to work begin when the woman marry, because there will be an assumption that the woman will get pregnant. After returning from family leave, women are treated differently. For example, they will be given a lot of assignment for suddenly, and also there are questions about their commitment to work. Therefore, some employers will unwilling to hire married women due to possibility of interruption of work in the future because of this marital relationship. Besides gender stereotypes, motherhood myths also act as justification of gender discrimination against women in the workplace. Myth of motherhood includes belief that women by their very nature are born with parenting skills, that at-home mothers are bound to their children and providing them with an unmatched nurturing environment. Myth of motherhood, on the other hand, have pathologized alternative mothering roles, portraying working mothers as neglecting their obligation to care, threatening family relationships, risking the child-mother bonding. Myth of motherhood have the ability to build psychological obstacle to women's attempt to gain influence in the workplace and to engage men in childcare. Fair treatment in the workplace tend to be far more challenging for women with children as the maternal barrier exists. Therefore, motherhood myth can result in lower interest in hiring or even promoting the women workers who have children. Based on what I mentioned just now, I completely agree that gender stereotypes and motherhood myths are the cause of gender inequality in workplace that happen in our society unconsciously. In fact, it could bring behavioral implications for women. For instance, the woman would be harassed, including insults and other negative actions such as ignoring or even interrupting their contribution. In order to solve this gender inequality in workplace, the most efficient method will be the implementation of written policies of gender equality promotions. These policies should ensure both gender, male and female, get the equal and fair rights, such as, for example, both men and women should get paid fairly for the same task, for the same work. The policy should ensure fairness at all stages of job. The prohibition from any form of gender discrimination, especially harassment against women, should be included in this policy too. Next, people consciousness of the issue must be improved. Gender equality must be part in our education system, so that parents and teachers can develop the youngsters, the children from at the very young age to understand that all individuals have equality rights. Because of this existing mentality, many folks assume that after get a primary education, the woman must get married and have a kid, while the job is only for men. Women cannot involve with the job. These problems need to be tackled through the structural efforts of individuals, of society, the public and private organizations, and also the states. In conclusion, gender inequality must be addressed as a global issue that need every one of us concern and attention. The factor that cause gender equality to be inequality, which are gender stereotype and myth of motherhood, that being a driver that drive the issue to still existing nowadays in our world. This gender discrimination must first need to acknowledge in order to spread awareness. Therefore, we really need to take this matter seriously, because to reach the finishing line is to start from the beginning, where it's an individual itself. As a fellow woman representative, we should never settle for less. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.